talk about this shirt first?
What shirt?
All right, we won't talk about the shirt. Okay, so we just...
I just want to talk about my sponsor. Me.
All right, so we just watched the Jannis Schauer, or is it Jannis? I really don't want to get this wrong.
It's Jannis or Jannis, depending on if you're speaking German or English.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Jannis just because, like, makes sense English-wise, but I would hate to offend him, so maybe it's Jannis. I don't know.
All right.
All I know is his parkour is incredible.
Yeah. Is he going to be at RedBull?
I have no idea.
Okay. He should be. Does he train with Alex, or is it just...
They're brothers.
No, stop it. Okay.
They should be brothers, because.
But I feel like they have really similar styles. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of either of them. Alex is in Santorini. Crazy. What do you like so much about Jannis or Jannis?
I find he has, like, the perfect blend of parkour, like traditional parkour and freestyle parkour. He's got these like nice clean flips, but he's got the smoothest parkour in the game, if you want to say that.
His precision game is like another level.
Yeah.
I feel like he's like, some of the rail pre's and the stuff he's able to connect with them and do out of them are like ridiculous.
Yeah. In particular, his Kong game, like to precise surfaces, like there's an older video of him doing like this ridiculous Kong onto this like really thin structure that's in the middle of the like stream or creek or whatever.
That was at like an end of a video of like a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
And then he came out with his solo video after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it was the storm video.
London is burning.
Yeah. Which there were some clips of this in his new 2015 video.
Yeah.
It was cool to see like kind of the end of one of the angles on those two. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Well, he cut it differently, right? He obviously got the footage, and then he did something with it differently than they edited it in the original London is Burning video. But I'm just super impressed overall, just like how clean that guy is, and like the level of things he's doing, and the complexity of the environment he's doing it in. It's like, it's not like he's just doing a Kong precision, he's doing it at height onto a rail where there's consequences if he messes up. Yeah, he's so well rounded too. Yeah. It's like for me, like I feel like his style is like the future. Like that's what I want to see more of. He's not, people like to talk about flow work and like to use that word to describe like doing freestyle moves, and typically when people are talking about flow, they're talking about slower moves. Yeah. But it just, I feel like the way he's doing stuff is it's all forward. It's all forward and it's all fast. Mm-hmm. But he's linking together these really intricate things, and I just feel like that's where I want to see people go. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I agree. And there's actually very few moves in his video where it's just single movement. If you watch it, it's even like his Kong precisions and stuff like that. It's not like he's just like doing it and sticking. Although there's a few of those in there, and they're high level ones too. But everything he does is just linked together smoothly. It's mostly combinations, and I love that style because parkour isn't just one move, right? Yeah. It's never the intention just to be one move. Yeah. So I mentioned RedBull. RedBull's coming up. Is it this weekend or? Yeah, it's the 3rd, I believe, or yeah. So it's Sunday. Do you have a pick? A favorite? Yeah. Well, there's 3 guys who got into RedBull this year that are new to to the event. Right? So there's Dante Grazioli, and there's Didi Muhammad, and Alfred Scott, and all three of those guys have huge potential. And I'm curious to see how they perform under the pressure of RedBull. And I guess the new thing this year is that it's a different part of Santorini, so it's a new course.
Right, yeah.
So yeah.
Have you seen anything of like the new course yet, or have they haven't released anything yet?
I haven't seen anything. Just seen like Sergio from GUP doing some lines.
On the new course?
No,
or like,
just in Santorini. The whole place is a parkour playground, really. Like, did you just like? I just saw a video of him, like it's a POV. He just walks out of his hotel room and then just starts doing stuff and then goes back in.
Okay, so it's not like it's just funny because all the pictures I see, it's like it's the same type of photos I've seen of Santorini before. So it's like, is it a different course, or is it, or maybe it's the same location and they're
I think what it is I mean, I've never been there, but from what I understand about it is like that area, like where the courses are and stuff, like there's like that's where the athletes stay. They just stay in a hotel like in that location, and then they just go outside and it's Santorini. It's the famous parkour mecca, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Right. Do you know if Zen's gonna be there?
That's what he said he was gonna. He said at the end of NAPC, after winning the freestyle event, he said RedBull's next for him. So he said he wanted to go to.
So I guess qualifiers, or?
I would assume he has to do qualifiers because he wasn't there the last couple years. But yeah, I hope he does well. He did pretty well here.
He did okay.
Just triple cork, 6 feet off the ground onto concrete. That's and sticking it pretty well, I guess you can say.
Making everyone erupt in emotions and everything.
Yeah,
it's pretty crazy.
He made Kent Johns cry, so
he made everyone cry.
Yeah,
everyone,
including himself.
Yeah. Oh man. Do you know if the qualifiers, if they get like a couple days break or after it, or even what day they're on?
Yeah, actually, I'm not sure what day the qualifiers are on for RedBull. Be something to look into. It's
and is RedBull on Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday, I think.
Sunday. Right.
Yeah. And that's the tricky thing with qualifiers. I mean, they do the online qualifier. For like video submission and stuff like that, and I think that's, it's an okay way to do things, I guess. There's things you can do through video editing and like kind of cheating things that maybe you can get away with, and who knows? Like, I mean, like all the guys that are getting in are honestly really talented, so I don't have any problem with the way they're selecting. But the live qualifier, last year there was like, the level was really high. Everything's like on concrete, and I think a few people got injured pretty badly, actually. I think Eric dislocated his shoulder. Yeah. And Dominic Di Tommaso, I think he hurt himself.
He was there last year too. Yeah, he's there again this year. Yeah. Do you think guys like you mentioned Dominic, I would say Foski and Alex, do you think they have a shot at winning RedBull, like with their style? Because they don't do a ton of tricks, but I feel like last year the judges actually favored them. Like they didn't Foski and Alex make it to the finals?
Foski didn't make it to the finals.
Okay, but Alex did.
Who made it to the final? One person that made it to the finals that was actually really interesting was Jesse Pepperell.
Right.
He burned through the course. Like Foski burned through the course too, but they both did very traditional parkour movements in their runs, and Foski got edged, and he didn't actually end up going to the finals, which is actually really disappointing because I think in terms of what that guy is capable of doing, he should be rewarded for his, even if it's a quick line, right? I mean, it's under 10 seconds. That's good.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Yeah.
It's tricky. I don't know. I don't think that they'll be. I don't think that those are the guys that are going to win this year. I think there's still sort of there has to be more of a paradigm shift in the freestyle culture of parkour for that to be rewarded. Apparently, last year they rewarded flow or transition movement. They rewarded it a lot more than in previous years.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen like the older ones where like Ryan Doyle is like doing like setting up to do like a move where he's sitting down. He's like saluting the crowd, and then he turns and he does it, and then he's hey, whoa, he's super talented, but like that was in an era where connections wasn't rewarded. It was just showmanship and big moves.
Yeah, I think the level wasn't there either.
I agree.
Like I'm just talking about guys like Jannis, that the way he's able to connect things like forward moving and fast. I'd like to see him compete. I'd like to see a competition where that type of movement is awarded. Yeah, I'm just not sure if like the RedBull format is ever gonna get to there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, right now it's the biggest, parkour freerunning competition in the world, and I mean, the one thing that it's definitely gotten better over the years, but I don't know if that's been due to like format changes or it's just the level of athlete has increased over the years. Yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's not my favorite competition. There's pretty much no other competition that I'm interested in watching. I mean, like I watch RedBull. It's
we'll probably put it up in the projector here again this year.
Yeah,
last year I think that's cool.
It's
at a weird time though, isn't it?
It's always at a weird time.
It's Greece.
Other side of the world, right?
Weird for us. Sorry, sorry everybody else.
Sorry, Europeans. RedBull is it's an entertaining watch. I still think there's more potential that can be that can be pushed in terms of competition, the level itself, the athletes they select, because a lot of times last year there's some athletes that they had in there that maybe didn't deserve to be there. And there's some athletes that weren't there that definitely deserve to be there. So, and then there's some athletes that skill-wise should be there, but don't promote themselves enough to actually make it. And that's a whole nother conversation, right?
Guys like Joey Adrian that don't want to compete.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to talk about one of the teams that's there that we haven't mentioned yet that recently had quite a few changes. Is Tempest.
Yeah.
Tempest Freerunning.
Tempest.
Do you know who? Because apparently they're sending out like a bunch of guys this year.
Yeah.
I saw something that even said that like it hinted at like maybe Victor's even competing or trying to qualify. I don't know. That's what I know. He's there. I don't know, or maybe he's just judging again because I think he's judged.
Last year he was a judge. I think for the online qualifiers, I think Gabe Nunez, he was one of the guys making the selections for the videos. So Tempest has had a huge involvement in RedBull or motion for several years. And how like Jesse is like giving, I guess he's not competing this year, but he's giving away like the Tempest Award. I don't know what it is.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're doing.
So yeah, it seems like they're trying to like.
They're increasing their presence.
Yeah, and Corey is going to do the qualifiers. I don't know if there's any other Tempest athletes that are going, like actually to compete. Maybe Lucy.
She's definitely.
I'm sure she's going. I'm sure she'll win again. But It's interesting. It's interesting. I mean, like I can respect a lot of. I can respect Tempest and the concept behind them, like being present in parkour. They're a free running brand. They want to be involved in the sport, and so they're trying to put themselves in obviously the biggest competition in the world, not just represented by athletes, but also you know, there's a judge and there's a Tempest award. And, you know, it's cool. I'd rather see that than I'd rather see like the free running and parkour companies like being like the sponsors of major events than.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, so I don't. I'm just trying to think who else is going from Tempest, because they just kept talking about like every post I've seen is like, oh, we're bringing a big presence this year. I guess it's the addition of the award. They got Frosty commentating. But
he's in the commentator booth.
Yeah.
This year,
Do you know if like Corbin's gonna try to qualify or?
Yeah, I don't know.
Corbin Reinhardt, for people who don't know, is ridiculous.
He's a young Tempest athlete.
Yeah, and he's got those fast connections too. Like he can put together those lines. Like there's not a lot of evidence of it because he doesn't make any videos, but he's legit. He's only 16.
No, he's 18.
No, he's 18.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
He's
18. Okay.
18. He was 16 when we competed with him at Tempest Games.
Okay.
Actually, I have to correct myself. He's not a Tempest athlete. He's a coach.
He's a coach. Yeah,
so
coach. They have that.
He's not officially an athlete.
Yeah. So
there is a distinction.
A lot of levels to the Tempest game, and recently there was a big change at the highest level of the Tempest company, corporation, organization, whatever you want to call it. Team is one of the founding members, Diddy.
Yeah.
He is no longer, I guess he would have been CEO, or part of the board of directors. There's 4 guys on the board of directors. He was one of them.
Right. And
he's completely voted off. And immediately there's like this uproar of people. Like people were calling out Jesse the Flair, who has nothing to do with it. It's just crazy.
It's Jesse's fault.
Yeah, it must have been Jesse the Flair. He had something to do with it. Yeah. That guy who just joined the team like a few years ago. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I've met all the guys that run Tempest. They're all super nice guys, or been super nice to me at least. But you know, who knows what goes on behind closed doors? Who knows what the reason was? He was. Yeah. I mean, I still haven't talked to him yet, so you know, there's not a whole lot we can talk about yet. I still haven't talked to anyone yet around that. But you have to think if 3 people felt that the direction he wanted to take the company in or whatever was wrong, you'd have to think there's some good reasons there.
Yeah. It's tricky. I mean, like, forming an opinion without all the information is you're shooting in the dark. You don't really know what you're talking about. And that's why, like, that's the one thing that really irks me about the parkour community is as soon as something happens and when you have this much information about what's actually going on, you're quick to just like throw up a Facebook status about how, like, oh my God, this is an atrocity. I can't believe that people in the world will do this. And it's like, okay, yeah, like breathe for a second, think about it, and like, okay, you know, Diddy's kicked out of his own company. He started Tempest. He's the founder of Tempest. But what do you really know other than that? Yeah. You know, he was voted out. He still keeps his shares apparently, so he's still gonna be like profiting from Tempest as long as it's, you know, a profitable company. Maybe, who knows? Maybe they'll go in the wrong direction and it'll tank, and then he's got to pull a Steve Jobs and come back in and save the company. But we don't know. The end of the day, we don't know. So like actually making an educated opinion on it is impossible at this point because everything has happened behind closed doors. The only thing we know is that Diddy posted a status saying Tempest Freerunning is dead.
He announced it. Like he just said it's dead. He's done with it. he was against whatever they're trying to do, I guess.
Or they're against what he's
or
trying
they're
to
against
do.
what he's trying.
Or a combination of the two. Right?
Yeah. There's apparently no compromise there. Yeah, it's crazy. And they haven't even announced anything yet. Like they haven't even.
There's been no formal formal announcement from Tempest.
Which is strange because he came up with this. I mean, it's a negative. It's a negative. What he put out there. It's negative for Tempest. Tempest is dead. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I won't be with them anymore. He's not really affiliated. He's still going to receive. He's still going to receive profit off his shares, but he's no longer affiliated with the company. And it's just strange that they haven't. Like I guess they're trying to we're not going to do the not respond to haters thing, but
I think that is probably a smart move because honestly, people are going to start forgetting about it.
I think they already have.
People have already forgotten about it. Yeah,
it's almost like a week or two now, and I haven't heard anything yet.
I think basically people forgotten about it or are gonna forget about it, and they're just gonna still view Tempest as the same way they saw it before this event even happened. At least that's the way I think things are gonna pan out. I mean, maybe people are gonna start talking a bunch of shit against Tempest, like they do with Adam Dunlap, but you know what? Adam Dunlap still has a profitable company.
Yeah.
So I mean, even if the shit talk still continues, it's not going to really affect Tempest in any meaningful way, in my view.
Yeah, people would have to do something bigger, like even for Take Flight. Like if you really don't like Take Flight, you should be doing more. Like if you really feel that much against it, like a Facebook post isn't going to be enough. But really, you can't he'd probably sue people because you can't come out and just make an anti-Take Flight shirt or something like that. He'd probably sue you.
Yeah.
So he might sue us for talking right now.
Oh no. Wait a minute, is that the word parkour on your shirt?
Yeah.
Don't you owe him royalties for that?
Apparently, I guess. Yeah.
No, but the whole thing with Diddy is, my personal interaction with Diddy was he was always super positive guy. I really enjoyed his presence. He's always really good person to me. I've only met him a handful of times, but from my experience with him, he's been awesome. But clearly there was a disagreement, and my view of Tempest is it was kind of started and it became something bigger than it started out to be.
Right.
What I think what happened with Diddy was he kind of went off to LA and he started this stunt team.
Yep.
That was sort of the original purpose, is just Tempest is this stunt team.
Mm-hmm.
It's a group of few stunt guys. They do parkour or free running, and they are, and then they do stunts. And then they built this company that just grew really, really fast. And it was almost like he stumbled on it. It wasn't I don't think his original intention was to open up the Tempest Freerunning Academy. Actually, 3 of them now. I don't think that was his original intention. I don't think his original intention, maybe it was, but
you can't really say. But.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they were intending to be, he wanted to be originally a big clothing brand company. I don't know if he wanted all of what Tempest has become. And until it sort of started happening, it sort of started spontaneously becoming bigger than it started. And so who knows what direction he really wanted to take it, and who knows what direction the other guys want to take it. But at the end of the day, he started it with 3 other guys, right? Mm-hmm. So it's 4 main guys at the head of Tempest, and if 3 of them are disagreeing with one of them, it makes sense that you're just going to take his decision-making power away. might get, you know, flack for talking about it that way, but at the end of the day, it's, and people are quick to say, oh, it must be money. It must be money, it's greed. These three guys, they are just after the money. They're just grabbing all the money. They just want to grab all of Diddy's money and put it in their pockets and then bathe themselves in it later. It's not money's fault.
That's what I do when I go home.
You just take money out of the Origin safe and you're just like, money.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's not money's fault. It's not people's pursuit of money. That's not at fault either. It's just four guys who have you know, opinions on where the sport or where they want to take the company and where they want to take the sport, and three of them disagree with one of them. So at the end of the day, it's like, well, yep, Diddy, you founded the company, but unfortunately we have a different view of where we want to take it, and we are all partners in this. So if you're not on board with our decision, our majority decision, then you're out. That's just unfortunately how the world works.
We got one more thing we can talk about here before we let the doors open. Managed to sneak in here to hang out for a bit, but we got some toddlers coming in and their families. They're going to be breaking down the door in a second now. But along kind of the same lines of reactions with the whole Tempest thing with Diddy was the Storm Tour. And before that, was it From Here to There, or that's the name of the documentary, the Off the Edge tour. Yeah, is you know, people's reactions to kind of having to pay to go to a jam or go to an event around these tours that are basically self-funded by the athletes doing them. So what's your take on all that?
Yeah, I mean, the question is like, am I willing to pay $50 to train with some of the athletes from Storm in a gym? And it's like, you know, I've gone in back and forth in my head about it, in my own head about it. It's like, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I'd do it. Why? Because I want to support these athletes. That's. I mean, personally, I want to meet them. Personally,
I'm a fan.
I'm a fan. I want to train with them. I want to learn from them if I can. If I can't learn anything from them, I want to at least, you know, have a conversation with them, or just at the base of it though, I want to support them. I like what they're doing athletically. I like what they're doing with the sport. I like what they're doing with the videos they're making. They're doing, you know, they're doing clothing. They're doing all these things that are helping to grow the sport into something bigger. So I want to support that. And so, yeah, I'd pay $50, $40, whatever it is to train with them or go to a jam. It's expensive, but the thing is, they're funding it themselves, like you said. So, like, you know, they're probably losing money on the tour. They're trying to just cover costs at the end of the day. So, like,
plane tickets ain't cheap.
Plane tickets ain't cheap.
Gas isn't cheap.
Especially
food's not cheap.
Especially transatlantic flights, right? It's not like they're, you know, traveling, they're taking a train to another country like they could do in Europe, but they're actually flying across the pond to see the community in a different light. Right?
And also the video they're making. That's the other thing too, is the video they're making. I believe they pay Giles. Yeah. I think Giles gets paid to come out with them. They hire him. They might have hired someone else to come out. And it's also like the way almost the way like nonprofit companies work is you fund a bunch of money so that everyone can eat and have a job and be paid to do their job during whatever the tour or production is. So it's not just plane tickets. It's like they're coming out here and they're trying to make a living, you know. And when these athletes go to places, that's part of making their living. So, you know, maybe they're writing themselves off as like, I'm going to pay myself $10 an hour for 8 hours each day, which isn't a whole lot of money, but maybe they're taking time off of whatever their job is back home to do this tour. And I mean, you don't have to pay it. You don't have to pay it. But part of the reason why I would is I want to see this dope video they're gonna make. Yeah. I want to see, like, watch the Instagram clips that they put out so far, and like, I want to see this insane video they're making. So I'd pay it for that. Plus, I'm a fan. Right? you know, going to jams where there's like 50 to 100 people, or, you know, you might not get a lot of like one-on-one interaction with them, whatever. But I'd pay just as a fan. You know, I'm a fan of a lot of athletes in parkour, and I want to see that video they're making.
Yeah.
So I want to invest in seeing that.
You've said this a number of times, but I like this idea. Parkour is a pipe dream.
Mm-hmm.
Parkour is a pipe dream, and what you've meant by that in the past is that basically, in order to make parkour as your living, it is an absolute dream for most people in parkour.
Yeah.
And so these guys are actually making it happen, and they are the ones that deserve it the most because they are like the ones working the hardest to do it. They're the ones trying to make that dream come true. And if you can help support it in some way, then you know, that's one step closer to their dream. But the thing is, I want to know how much money they're losing on this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like how many things have we done in the past where we've lost money?
Yeah. Like I've never ran a competition at Origins that has made money.
Yeah.
We lose thousands of dollars like every time we do.
Just to make the dream happen.
Yeah, just because I want to do it. Like, it would be great one day if there could be some like break even or pull some sort of profit, but it's not why we're doing it. You know, it's marketing that helps too. Mm-hmm. With the thing too is like, this is what they're forced to do right now because of where parkour is at. If well, here they come, coming toddlers. This is what we're forced to do right now because of where parkour is at. Like, there's not, you know, if Nike was, or some big company was like, oh yeah, I'll put you guys on tour. I'll put, like, you know, we're a $1 billion company. I'll put you guys on tour. I'll shove out, you know, like 20K or whatever it costs to put you guys on tour and make this video. But this is not happening yet.
Yeah, it's not there yet. The sport's not there
and
yet.
And it's sad because like people. You know, we're talking about this, like, yeah, I'd pay $50, but some people just won't, you know, and that's fine.
That's totally
fine. No one's mad at you for not. No one's, and it's, I wouldn't even say they're not supporting. I wouldn't even call it that. It's just like, oh, you can't afford it. That's cool.
Yeah. Watch the video when it comes out.
Yeah, watch it. You know, share a Facebook post or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Or don't support it at all.
Yeah,
and the people who do want to see these things happen will support it. And you know, you vote with your dollar. That's the thing. That's the thing about money is like, money is not money is this evil, blah blah blah. It's like, no, money is a really positive thing. You can actually take your dollar and vote with it. It's like, what do I want to see happen? Well, I want to see Storm come to America. Cool, I'm going to vote with my dollar. I want to see an APC. I'm going to come to it. I'm going to pay $20 for a ticket to come, or I'm going to watch it on the live stream for free, or I'm going to, you know, I'm going to buy Storr's documentary, or I'm going to support Jesse and Corey and their tour. And, you know, whatever it is you do, you know, vote with your dollar in something that you believe in. And if you don't believe in it, then that's fine. Go buy McDonald's, or go buy Adidas sweats, right? Like, but buy stuff that you like. Buy stuff and spend your money on the things that you want to enjoy in life.
Yeah, I just don't understand where the offense comes from.
Yeah.
People get offended.
Yeah.
You know, how dare they charge money for this? How dare, you know, like, it's personally offending them.
Well, it's because parkour attracts a lot of people who are cheap.
Cheap, or,
you know,
or whatever their political views are, or whatever. I don't know.
Socialists.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It shouldn't be a problem. Like I said, the solution is when companies, and preferably companies that have best interest for parkour, start taking interest in athletes and saying, like, hey, we can sponsor this athlete. It'd be good exposure for us.
Yeah.
That's what marketing is. Marketing is exposure.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound as bad as marketing. That's all it is exposure. So, you know, a company like Nike could be like, oh yeah, it's this Kai Willis guy. He's really cool. Kids like him. Oh, he does crazy stuff. Huh. What if we put a swoosh on him? Huh. That'd be cool. All right. I wonder if he's down for it.
Yeah.
Kai Willis, can we pay you $5K a month to wear a swoosh? You'd probably be down.
I'd be down.
I'd be down to wear. Oh, you don't want anything else from me? Just that? I don't have to, like, give you sexual services or anything? Just wear a swoosh? Okay, that's good. I don't have to sell you my soul, just wear a swoosh? All right, that's fine. Yeah, I do it. But I mean, that's the real solution, though. It's just, you know, companies that are making money through other means or whatever, sponsoring parkour. See more of that. Parkour just needs to grow. And these guys are just taking upon them right now to taking it upon themselves to do it themselves, which will in turn help. That helps parkour grow too. So all this needs to happen together, and it's gonna take its time. But
5 years, 10 years from now,
it's gonna be a different game. It's gonna be totally different.
All right.
Anyway, we gotta get out of here because they've already tried to get in the door, and we've had to turn them away. So it's good talking to you, man. Cheers. See ya.